we're going to go over how to make a body move. So the first thing that we want to do is apply some gravity to our world. So we're going to go to this vector that the world is using, and we're going to say that there's going to be gravity of -10. So our body should be moving down. Then we want to make sure that we update the world so that it goes ahead and does some steps. So in update, we just do world.step and then 1/60. So the time step, the frames, is 1/60. And then we're going to do iterations for 6 and position iterations for 2. So that's just going to update the graphics quite often. And that's going to happen in render. So then once we are updating our world, we will go ahead and go to the player class, and you're going to notice that I changed the polygon shape. So I had a polygon shape before that was like this, which what was going to show is that I had a square, but instead I changed it to a circle shape, and then I set that circle shape radius, so I did set radius to 5. So now that I run this, I slide towards downward towards the -10. If you want more gravity, then just go ahead and increase that -10 number. So now that we have that done, we want to do a couple of things. We want to move the sprite depending on what key was pressed, and then we want the camera to update to wherever the sprite is. So currently, if we press right, we're not going to move the sprite, and all we're going to do is move the camera's position. So we are just kind of goes forward like that. Is move the player's body, but we don't have access to the player's body. Now the player's body is box 2D, and this should be private. So then if it's private, we won't be able to say something like player.box2D body. It just doesn't show up. So we're going to need a get method for that. So if we go here in the player body, or in the player class, and then we put get box2D and just return that box2D body, then we have access to that. And then we can say apply linear impulse, and we want to apply some force from some point of force, and we want to say that it should wake up this body if it's sleeping. And we're going to go over what sleeping means in the future. Then we have a vector 2 here that's going to be called force, and we're going to say new vector 2. And what we're going to do is we are going to say X and Y, which way is the force going to be applied when the right key is pressed. So we want to go 100F, positive 100F on the X-axis, so move it positively on the X-axis, and we're not going to move it on the Y-axis with the force. So that vector is going to be used here. Then the point of force is going to be towards the center of the world, so player.getBody, .getWorld center, and that's a little bit of physics that's applied to it with that vector. And then what we want to do is update the camera wherever the sprite is. So this should be done up here in update. We're going to say camera.position.x equals player.getBody.getPosition.x. So we're just going to put the camera's position wherever the player is, and that will satisfy our second step right here. So go over here to see that the camera's position where the body is, and then we're moving the body forward quite a bit. And then if we want to say move it to the right, there's a couple of things that we want to do. We want to comment this out because we don't want that, and then we want to say else if, and then we can copy this whole thing, and we want to say else if the left key is pressed. Then what you want to do is pretty much the exact same thing, except the force is going to be -100. So we go -100 and see if our left key is pressed. So now we have movement right, movement left. We can go back and forth, and you can do up and down if you like to, and it doesn't go past it. Now you'll see that it's gliding, and you'll have to, I guess, do a little bit of testing on how to make it not glide that way and make it move smooth.